So with ankle problems, calf problems, and foot problems, you want to treat the whole unit. You know, you want to treat foot stabilization, you want to treat your calf, you want to treat your ankle. Sometimes and often you want to treat your glutes as well. So for ankle instability, here's a few exercises that are really good. So because our feet are typically in shoes all the time, we can't really use our toes the same way we can use our fingers, where we move them individually. So it's good to start with an exercise that trains our toes to work a little bit independently. So a simple one to do is you start with your shoes off, feet in a neutral position. Try not to have your knees out or your knees in. Got knees over second toe. Think about trying to lift up your first toe and none of the other ones. See, my piggy went to market there. And then once you've done that, lift up all your toes. Then put down your first toe and put down the rest of your toes. Seems pretty simple, but it's incredibly hard at first. So it's got a really steep learning curve to be able to do it. So if you have trouble, you can even think of lifting your toe at first and then help drop your toe. So at first you'll find this seems almost impossible, but after a few minutes of doing it, it gets a lot easier. Now that we've kind of created a little bit more dexterity in the toes, we want to work on the muscles that help stabilize the ankle, namely the tibialis posterior and the peroneus longus. So those are the muscles that help with the side-to-side movement, the inversion, eversion, and more your foot and ankle stability. And we tend to treat those less than others because we're really focused on stretching our calves, which is great, but we miss these muscles often. So we want to be able to recruit these muscles to create more stability. So 2 simple exercises. For the peroneus longus, we're going to stand with our feet maybe a fist width apart. We're going to take a exercise ball, lacrosse ball, softball, doesn't matter. And we can be next to a wall if we need to be. And we're just going to do a toe raise while squeezing that ball. Hold for 8 seconds if you can. Come back down. Repeat that for 8 to 12 reps, squeezing that ball. If you need to hold on to something, that's fine. It's more important that you just go through this motion, whether it's assisted or not. And that's helping turning on that muscle to cue it when we start moving our ankle. Our second exercise is going to be the same thing, except we're going to put a couple quarters under our toes. And what that does is it cues us, we want to think about pushing up on the quarters now when we stand up. And that's going to cue that tibialis posterior a bit more. So again, you can do this as a warm-up before you're exercising, before your sports, or just every day as a neurofunctional exercise to get those muscles to turn on. Other things, of course, we can be doing is we can be doing calf stretches, gastroc stretches, and foam rolling of our calf and our hamstring. All that stuff is great. It's just this is the stuff that's typically missed that we want to start adding to our regime.